This is Spirits Part 2. One time I lived in an apartment complex somewhere, and a friend of mine who was um, black friend of mine who was a concert violist. I didn't realize he was depressed or whatever. He tried to commit suicide, and evidently, I guess it didn't fully happen. And when he came back through, I guess a life, whatever, however it happened. Uh, when he was in the house with me talking to me, he said that he could see little objects walking on the ground. And, of course, he knows it's not there, but I mean, he could see it. Probably had open vision. Somehow, the suicide sort of maybe opened up a certain part of his awareness of things. And so I looked into it in the spirit realm, and I asked, real quick. So I asked these questions. I asked them pretty quickly in my head. I don't sit there and say, get on my knees and say, "Oh, Father, I come before you now." I mean, give me a break. Asked, just what is it, And I looked at it and saw it too, but not sure what it means when I. Anyway, sometimes there's a lot of things like that go on. The things that you'll see, and you won't necessarily know what it means. And the bigger bitch of it all is that there's very few people you can talk to about it without getting the usual, stereotype response like, "Oh, well, brother, you better understand that that Jesus has died for your sins." And gee, really? Gee, I didn't know that. Or of course, the other end of the spectrum is that, well, you're probably a nutcase, and do you hear voices often? I don't know if I hear voices that often. The voices are out there. I can go find them. Case in point, do with the schizophrenic individual people that maybe say hear voices uncontrollably. Though it's hard to say if that's truly schizophrenic, because the word schizophrenic is an umbrella term. Underneath it, it has different vestibles or characteristics, like one person can be bipolar, another person can actually hear the voices, but I don't know exactly how they classify that. I think these people who hear voices like that audibly when they are kind of caught between two worlds, and that if they would probably wait on the Lord, or wait and sit still in their mind. Maybe first they have to do it physically, but eventually sit still in their minds and sort things out and wait it out. That perhaps there's an equilibrium that can be attained through it, or maybe an expulsion of some demonic activity, whichever the case may be. But it can't always apply and go after these things in a black and white fashion, or sit there and say, well, no, the problem really isn't that, it's something else, And if you're new and you're a novice, like I had been when I was younger, and mentioned certain things, one time to a ministry, and then came back to following, came back and talked to the guy later on. He was, I guess, a new ministry himself. He denounced the whole thing. It was all demonic and this, that, and I wasn't strong enough yet what I knew about, so I kind of took a kind of whiplash over the whole thing. But later on, as many years transpired, I figured out no, I didn't do anything wrong, and that there was nothing wrong, just that I wasn't strong enough there in my mind to know how to defend against rebuttals when that goes. You'll learn a lot of that as you go, that you may have experience. You'll actually maybe even have open vision, and who knows, what kind of things will happen. Hopefully, what I like about these abilities to see in the spirit realm is to find out scientific things and ask questions and get the answers back, and then and roll around and chew on it for a while, because some of the stuff just takes a while to absorb. When it's unlike anything you ever knew before, and it's just or there might be things you think you really truly understood, and you find out you didn't, and then the context of what you read, whether it was in a Bible or even a scientific journal for that matter, is altogether something else different than that. The spirit behind like I was talking about this car at the time. I talked to the car and I asked the car. I said, "Well, I changed an engine in this car." I said, "I changed the engine. Didn't that change you? Aren't you something different?" The car speaks back, says, "You people have liver transplants and heart transplants. Did that change who you were?" No, yeah, that's a good point, So I was having a good conversation with this car, and finally one day the car said to me, says, he's going to be taking off soon. And I said, "Oh, no, come on, I'm starting to get the hang of this now. You can hang around for a few thousand more miles, Well, I mean, what the hell?" So anyway, sure enough, I think I was told that on a Wednesday or something like that, and the thing blew a major valve or something like that Saturday, and I was reluctant to take it to the junkyard. I felt like I was taking another human being to the junkyard. I mean, it really it kind of caused me some trauma, and so I took it to the junkyard and everything, and I just couldn't. I was looking at, here I'm in the physical realm, and cars, basically going to junkyard. I know it's an inanimate object, and and everything like that. So I was traveling out in the desert, some trip we had to take up north, and I was thinking about this art form by Paul Cézanne. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word right. Van Gogh. The Wheatfield painting is similar to the painting I was thinking with Cézanne about the mountain. When I was driving through this desert, and what happened is I kind of went into like a semi-trance while I was driving the car, and I saw the field, the hill come down and merge into the valley, and they all became one. And then the voice of the car spoke and says, even though I was looked like I had died there and had been dismantled in another realm, I never left. In another realm, I am always there. Well, it's a comforting thought. I mean, and I'm not saying this to be, make it sound like, oh well, just a little heartwarming feeling there when I mean, as I even start talking about, make me almost like we want to cry, but not. But the thing is that it was always there. Was it there before it became a car, or afterwards, or what? I mean, who knows? It's part of the oneness thing. We're able to have all these experiences, know all these things, and it's not just about knowing it out of a book, but not be able to experience it, to grow into it, so that we're able to have contact with these aliens. You don't necessarily have to be picked up by a ship. You can't, if you want to. Maybe there's a way you can. I'm sure that they've talked about it, but do you have enough emotional discipline to know how to handle and sift it all through, what you know and what you don't know? And I gotta be honest with you, I'm glad things did go slow for me, because and maybe they'll still be slow. Like this one man of God, John Robert Stevens, talked about. He says that the walk, the faith, the walking with God is also called the faith. A better word is the walk. When later on, as you get older and more developed, it's almost like it's a run. And you know Jesus, and He's the author and finisher of your faith. Developing the tools for you to develop a walk with that. So there's an end. There's an end to it. Then you're on your own. You're not following after Jesus anymore. You become the Jesus, or become part of the Jesus class. And I have to end.